Let me guess. You're doing everything you were told to do. You have a job, you pay your bills on time, you try to save a little when you can, you avoid stupid purchases. But somehow, every year feels the same. Your bank balance goes up a bit, then back down. Your salary increases, but your stress doesn't. You're not broke, but you're definitely not free. And late at night, you think, why does it feel like I'm working so hard, but not actually getting ahead? If that sounds familiar, yeah, that's literally millions of people. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most middle-class people aren't stuck because they're irresponsible. They're stuck because of quiet money habits that feel smart, but slowly cap your future. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually works in real life. If you're someone who earns decent money, but still feels financially stuck, anxious, or behind, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, this isn't about shaming anyone. I've made every mistake on this list. But once you see these habits clearly, you can't unsee them. And that's when things finally start to change. Here's the thing most people assume. If I make more money and avoid big mistakes, I'll be fine. That sounds logical. It's also wrong. According to Federal Reserve data, over 60% of Americans earning between $75,000 and $150,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Think about that for a second. These aren't people struggling to survive. These are people doing everything they were told to do, which means the problem isn't income. It's behavior, it's structure, it's psychology. The first habit is automatically upgrading your life when your income goes up. You get a raise, you feel proud, and without thinking, you upgrade. A slightly nicer apartment, a newer car, more eating out, a few extra subscriptions. Nothing crazy. But here's what most people don't realize. Lifestyle inflation doesn't happen dramatically. It happens invisibly. Let's do the math. Say you get a $6,000 raise. After taxes, that's roughly $4,200 a year, about $350 a month. Now imagine $120 more on rent, $180 more on a car payment, $60 more on eating out, $40 on subscriptions, and $50 on random spending. That raise is gone. Not wasted, absorbed. Psychologically, this happens because humans adapt incredibly fast. What feels like a luxury today becomes normal in weeks. The fix is simple, but uncomfortable. Every time your income increases, at least 50% of that raise should never touch your lifestyle. It goes straight toward investing or debt freedom. The second habit is using monthly payments to justify bad decisions. Monthly payments are dangerous, not because debt is evil, but because it hides reality. A $38,000 car doesn't feel like $38,000. It feels like $620 a month. But here's the real math. That same $620 invested monthly at 8% over 30 years becomes over $900,000. So when you say it's only a few $100s a month, what you're really saying is I'm trading future freedom for present comfort. This is where it gets really interesting. Studies show people spend 30 to 40% more when prices are framed as monthly payments instead of total cost. Your brain isn't broken. It's short-term focused. Before buying anything big, force yourself to ask, what is this worth in 20 years? What freedom am I giving up? The third habit is confusing stability with progress. You have a steady job, predictable income, a routine, so you feel safe. But stability without growth is stagnation. A lot of middle-class wealth killers look responsible, staying in the same role too long, avoiding risk, playing defense forever. Meanwhile, inflation quietly eats away at your purchasing power. At just 3% inflation, money loses half its value in about 24 years. So if your income isn't growing meaningfully, you're not standing still. You're moving backward slowly. Now you might be thinking, but risk is dangerous. That's true. But no growth is also a risk. It's just invisible. Every year you should be asking, what skill am I building that increases my earning power? Where does my next income jump come from? The fourth habit is over-saving cash and under-investing. This one feels responsible. It feels safe. But the numbers tell a different story. High-yield savings accounts earn around 4 to 5%. Long-term market returns average closer to 7% after inflation. That gap compounds massively. $50,000 sitting in cash for 20 years versus invested can mean a six-figure difference. Here's what most people don't realize. Holding too much cash guarantees loss of purchasing power. Fear feels safe. Slow loss feels invisible. The rule is simple. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. Everything beyond that should be working for you. The sixth habit is using debt for comfort instead of leverage. Debt itself isn't the enemy. Unproductive debt is. Middle-class debt pays for cars, lifestyle, and consumption. Wealth-building debt funds assets, businesses, and cash flow. Same tool, completely different outcome. The average American pays over $6,000 per year in interest. That's money working against you. Before taking on debt, ask, does this increase future income? Does this buy back time? If not, it's probably a trap. The seventh habit is never tracking net worth. Most people track income and expenses. Almost nobody tracks net worth, which means they have no scoreboard. And what you don't measure doesn't improve. You can earn great money and still go nowhere if assets aren't growing. Once a month, calculate assets minus liabilities. Don't obsess over the number. Watch the trend. The final habit is waiting for motivation instead of building systems. Most people know what to do. They just don't do it consistently. Because motivation is emotional. Systems are mechanical. Wealth is built by systems. Automatic investing, automatic saving, automatic boundaries. Remove willpower from money decisions. Make the smart choice the default. Here's the truth most people never hear. The middle class isn't stuck because of one big mistake. They're stuck because of small, reasonable decisions repeated for decades. And that's also the good news, because small changes done consistently compound massively. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be intentional. Start with one habit, fix it, then move to the next. If this video helped you see money differently, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters. Subscribe for more honest conversations about money, psychology, and building a future that actually feels free. You don't need more hustle. You need better rules. And once the rules change, the game changes too.